Hello.
Hey, honey.
Hey, what's going on?
So me and my they were just out here doing bubbles.
Okay.
And my neighbor, she out every day. I called the police
right
on
there
her.
sitting?
Yeah, she's sitting there with her camera.
Okay.
And she has cameras, so she I don't know if she watches, but she can pull that camera footage probably back up.
Okay.
She walked to that gate and sprayed bear mace or whatever at me and my and it's like if you walk probably that way you can still smell it because it got in my into my chest or whatever. But then she walked back and sat down, and she every day is like, oh, you get out of my neighborhood and where for like this is like we have footage of her of that, but that's like, but I wish I would have had her just now. She literally walked to that gate right here.
How far were y'all standing?
We were right here. After I had my baby throw the little thing down, so we were standing right here.
Right here?
Yeah, because she has her thing.
And she was at the fence?
Yes.
So, what?
She just did it.
Y'all just...
Nope.
She wasn't yelling at y'all first?
Oh, no, she was yelling at first. Just say y'all stupid. But that's, I don't care about that. Like, yeah. But that bear mace or whatever that was, you just literally came to your gate and sprayed. Right. She said the other day when she was out here playing, I wasn't here. I had a graduation yesterday and I was getting my stuff done. So I didn't know that this is her second time. My daughter said she did it to her while she was out playing in the pool and told her she wished she drowned. And I didn't know nothing about that until I just called the police. She sprayed then too? Yes, but I didn't know anything about that time because I wasn't here, and she just told me she sprayed it, and I told her I didn't.
And that was when you said?
When I got my eyebrows done Thursday.
So yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want medics just to check y'all out?
Well, my chest is hurting a little bit. I don't know, but she should have that big old whatever. I thought the lady had a damn gun, honestly, because they say she put the gun on those people over on the other side of her. So I don't know if she. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't know what she had.
Do y'all want medics to come check y'all out?
No, I just had some water.
Okay.
And I just drank a little bit of ginger ale.
I'm gonna see if I can try and smell it when I walk over here. Was it like? Was it like a mist or was it like a spray?
No, it was a mist and it was brown. Like I've never seen.
Who was all out with you? It was you,
just me
her,
and my.
Okay. What did she say when she walked up and did it? Like what was she saying?
She just said, "You stupid," and just sprayed.
That's it.
That's it. And that's her favorite. Like I'm not even there. My daughter probably got 100 recordings of her. Okay. Like this is like.
Would it be alright if I could see one of the recordings?
Yeah. Looks like she sat it down when. Yep. That's whatever. Yeah. Because she had just. I'm finna say whatever. She had just sat down with it. I had to grab the phone, try to get it. Whatever that big old black thing is, that's what she came to the fence and sprayed.
What does it look like?
Like it looked. That's what I said.
Does it have a canister?
Yeah, like a canister.
What color is the canister?
Black. It all looked like it was black.
And then the handle was black too?
Like it all looked at black. And then she sprayed it. I was like, I didn't know what she had. And then she held it up and sprayed it in like a big old black mist. And it was so like, so I was like, it must be bear mace because I done been sprayed with regular mace before.
Are you wanting to press charges?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sick. Like, I don't care what she say to me and my big kids, but my don't even like they didn't even know what that was until she started saying it. Right. Like, and she still probably don't know what my. It's like she says something to her every day. I even let my landlord know. I was like, this lady is like.
That's ridiculous.
I pay $19.50 a month for rent, and now I don't even like them coming out the door.
You gotta deal with this. Do y'all have any residue on your skin?
Well, I know it's in my chest because I can feel it here. Okay. Like I can feel it, and I'm trying to find these other videos because I know I have more videos of this lady doing stuff, but it's really just. And then they would tell me she'll make like when they walk past, she'll make like gun sounds like
Hello. So what's going on today?
Them people keep making threats.
Like so
they're gonna come over, they're gonna beat my ass, and they're gonna smash my face in.
Okay.
Put the little kids up to come over to the fence and throw stuff at me because all I do is sit on my back porch and read.
It's okay,
I don't know who they are. I couldn't even tell you their names. I don't have nothing to do with them and I don't talk to them.
Okay. So what happened today?
She come over to my fence with they keep tripping the cell phone thing. I don't know what it is. They put the little cell phone in a little kid's hand, make them come over to the fence and they tell them to say stuff. Okay? And then they hold the cell phone up like this here.
To do what?
I don't know.
Okay.
Trying something. And then that woman, she keeps saying she's going to take care of me, okay?
What's she's saying exactly?
Huh?
What'd she say exactly?
I can't hear her.
Okay.
I can only see her, the motions and what have you, okay?
Okay.
But they sit on that back porch over there, and they'll come out and they'll pace something down that fence, saying stuff. I ignore them, you know, and they just back and forth. And then finally, they'll go in one door, out the back door, pace something down, in the front door, out the back door, pace something down. And that one guy over there, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of them. There's supposed to be 4 people. A man, a woman, and 2 children. There are 10 people living there. Okay? But then he paces up and down the fence line and makes all kinds of horrible noises, whistles, you know. I have no peace here.
Okay, have you tried calling us?
Huh?
Have you tried calling us?
You guys got enough to do. Okay? I keep thinking that maybe, because the lady that owns the house, I called her about, and she knows. And she's not going to renew the lease.
Okay.
But they can, you know, I don't know, I don't like, black people are nice. You know the difference between black people and, I hope you do anyway. But black people, I work with black people, I like black people, I know some real good black people. I don't like. There's a lot of drugs going on over there. A lot of cars coming in over there.
10, 14, 17.
Okay, and that pot comes over.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, I get a second hand of all that dope they're smoking, and they smoke dope.
Okay. So,
matter of fact, Gary can tell you that across the street. A lady on the other end down there can tell you that. Okay?
So,
but I'm not going to let them hurt me.
Okay.
I will use whatever means I have to.
And what did you do today?
I used pepper spray at them.
Okay, did you spray it? Did it hit them?
No,
like what? Where did you spray it from?
From right outside of my door. I didn't spray to hit them. I just want to let them know I have some protection. So
you didn't like go up to the gate and start spraying like at them and the kids or anything like that?
I made one big shot of spray in the air.
Okay.
I have a taser. And I will use every what I can get my hands on. So, I want to go down and file charges, but I don't know their name.
Okay.
And I called down there, and I.
Well, so that's what you call us for.
Huh?
That's what you call us for when, you know, a few weeks ago, months ago, however long it's been going on. You call us when this happens, so that you don't have to
do anything.
Well,
they still do it.
I mean, it's better than not calling us and us not doing anything, right? Because at least when you call us, we at least know about it. So that when we come out here for something else, we kind of know the situation, because this is the first time I've been out here that I know of.
Well, she called them on me before. They came out.
And what happened then?
Nothing.
But what happened? Why did she call? What did she do? What did you do?
I'm sitting on my back porch reading. Okay? And I yelled at the kids, I think, twice, because they're screaming their top of their lungs. I told them to shut up. They don't have to scream that way.
And she didn't like that?
No. Okay. And, you know, they didn't like that one bit. So the 2 girls over there, they always telling me to kiss their ass. They'll bend over and stick their ass up at me and go, kiss my ass. Okay? And that woman, she did the same thing, tell me to kiss her ass. You know, they bend over, stick it up, and put their finger right there and look at me, and you can tell what they're saying. They'll get in those windows facing my house. Nobody else can see them.
So
facing my house. And they'll get in those windows. They'll send those kids out to the fence. And you can hear them telling them, because the kids keep looking back at the window, you know.
So there's nothing against the law for doing that until you report it to us that it's happening over and over and over and over and over again.
I reported it to the first ones that were here.
Because then it can come under harassment, okay? But until you're reporting this to us, there's nothing, because that's not
You have a card with your
that's not illegal. Now them doing this same stuff over and over and over again, that possibly could become something that we can look into. But them just doing it and then you calling us, I would say people, that's the freedom of speech, you know? They can say whatever they want.
I own my house here. Okay, I have a right to peace living in my house.
I agree, which is why we need it documented over and over again, because then it can become criminal, because then it can become harassment.
It is harassment.
But it has to be us. You have to call and document and tell us this, because I need a long string of days and incidents of this occurring. Do you understand? Because them just you telling me this, that, you know, they're telling you all these things saying kiss my ass. You could tell me that right now, I can't do nothing. It's freedom of speech. I could tell you that right now, you can't do nothing. It's freedom of speech. But them doing it over and over and over again but we need documentation of that, is what I'm saying.
Can I go down and file charges even though I don't know their name?
For what?
For harassment.
So we need proof of lots of events of this happening for that to happen, is what we need. It can't just be just from today. We need documentation of a lot of events.
Yeah, they don't like me sitting on my back porch, and I've been sitting back there.
And you can do that. That's your property. You can do that all you want.
I do.
That's fine.
But then I pay a price too by sitting back there.
So then when they do something or they say something or they're harassing you, you document it. You call us, you get it on camera, show us them doing that to you over and over and over again, and we can work towards something being harassment. Oops.
But I will use every means I have available to protect myself, and they keep making threats.
But so if they stay on their side of the fence, though, you can't be doing that type of stuff, okay?
Doing what type of stuff?
Spraying mace at them if they're on their side of the fence, because now they're on their property.
They come up on their property at night.
To your property?
Mm-hmm.
So then call us so we can do something. But if they're on their property, you can't stay on your property and spray bear mace or anything. If they're still on their property, you cannot do that. Because there's a fence between you guys, okay? They're on their property, just like you're on your property.
Right.
So you can't be spraying mace, okay? So I'm gonna talk to him really quick, okay?
Hey, so I'm just kind of wondering your side of things. What was kind of going on when all this happened? Like, what were y'all doing?
He talking about today.
Today, yeah, with this incident. Like, why? You're playing with the bubbles? Okay, what did she do?
She walked up to the gate and then she just tried to spray us.
Okay. Did you feel the effects of the pepper spray? No. Do you need medical attention for any reason? Like, does your nose hurt? Does your throat hurt? Your lungs? Your throat hurt a little bit? Oh, your nose? Okay.
We come home and you'll just hear it.
That's what she said. She just sits there all night.
All day. Stupid. You don't belong in this neighborhood. All this, she make gun sounds like she just. This is every day that God give her. That's what she decides to do.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna talk to her real quick.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Ada. Hi. I know you talked to him a little bit earlier, but I just want to talk to you real quick. My name's Deputy Kenny. Okay, I'm kind of the one doing this whole report. Okay. So I know you already told him what's kind of going on between y'all.
I don't know what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
It's okay, Bumpers.
They do drugs.
Okay.
I mean, everybody in the neighborhood knows that everybody's watching.
Mm-hmm.
They keep making threats to me.
Okay.
Especially those two girls and that one woman.
Okay.
Okay. For some reason, I don't have nothing to do with them. I don't talk to them. Can't even tell you who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I do get out and walk. I had to pick up their trash out of my yard, bags of dirty baby diapers, thrown over I don't know who did it, but they were dirty baby diapers, and that's the only baby over there that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
So there's a lot going on.
Okay.
They keep telling me how they're going to punch my face in. They're going to take and come over and beat the hell out of me. And, you know.
When did they say that?
Just about every time they see me on my back porch.
Okay.
This is my house.
I gotcha.
I have a right to protect myself.
Sure.
And I will use what means I have to do that with.
I gotcha. All right, so...
And if they're if they get hit with something, that's their problem.
Okay. I'm just going to read this to you real quick. Just because I have to read it to you before I keep talking to you, okay? Do you understand each of these rights?
No, not really.
Do you want me to read them again?
No.
Okay. All right, Miss Ada.
Because I haven't done anything except live in my house.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. At this time, though, I do need you to put your hands behind your back, okay?
No,
yes,
you don't do that to me.
Ma'am, please.
Hey.
Ma'am,
Ada, don't fight us. Don't fight us.
Ma'am, I'll move them to the front.
What are you arresting me for?
Okay, it's going to be simple battery, okay?
No, I haven't touched
I
anybody.
got you. I need you to put your hands behind your back. Ma'am.
Wait a
Miss
minute.
Ada,
No. I got to take care of this animal.
is there anybody that we can call for you?
No.
Okay, so
We'll take care of the dog. We'll let him inside.
I'll put him inside. Okay,
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna let your dog inside.
No, but what are you trying to do with me?
You're going
You're
to
being
Marion
placed
County
under
Jail.
arrest.
For what?
For simple battery.
I
need
haven't
you-
touched
Ma'am, I
anybody.
need you to put your hands behind your back.
Miss Ada.
Ma'am, don't make this difficult.
Imagine you're in your backyard on a perfectly normal afternoon. Your kids are playing on the grass, bubbles are floating through the air, and the sun is shining. It's exactly the kind of domestic peace we all strive for. But suddenly, a chemical mist drifts over the fence. It's not smoke from a barbecue or dust from a leaf blower. It's a thick brown cloud that hits your chest and sets your lungs on fire. As your children start coughing in pain, you realize something horrifying. Your neighbor has just deployed a weapon against you. A chemical agent designed to stop a charging grizzly bear, all because she didn't like the sound of children playing. Now, let's flip the perspective. You're an elderly woman sitting on your porch, feeling annoyed by the world around you. Irrational or not, you feel threatened by the mere presence of your neighbors. You've convinced yourself that the family next door is a criminal enterprise despite having absolutely zero evidence. You decide the appropriate response to the sound of kids laughing and playing is to walk to the fence and unleash a canister of bear mace. When the police arrive, you don't hide it, you admit it. In fact, you don't treat the officers like investigators there to arrest you. You treat them like your own personal customer service representatives, fully expecting a high five for protecting your property. This case is a masterclass in cognitive dissonance and the stark legal reality of self-defense. Today, we're breaking down a body cam interaction that starts with a neighborhood dispute over bubbles and ends with an elderly woman in handcuffs. But the journey between those 2 points is filled with fascinating legal nuances. We see officers navigating a classic he said, she said scenario that rapidly shifts into a violent felony confession, all while the suspect remains completely oblivious to the fact that she is the villain of this story. It forces us to ask, at what point does a grumpy neighbor become a criminal threat? And ask yourself this, if the demographics of this suspect were different, if they were younger, male, or a minority, would the officers have spent 20 minutes debating the definition of harassment? Or would the handcuffs have come out the second the words bear mace were spoken? We're going to look at the power dynamics, the specific legal statutes regarding chemical weapons, and the psychology of entitlement. This situation ended with an arrest, but for an ordinary person without the elderly grandmother aesthetic, it could have ended much, much worse. The incident takes place in a quiet residential neighborhood. Police are called by a mother who claims her neighbor, an elderly woman named Miss Ida, sprayed bear mace at her and her children while they were outside. The officers interview the mother first, who describes a brown mist, a black canister, and physical symptoms like intense chest pain. She also notes a long history of racial slurs and harassment from Miss Ida. When the officers go next door, instead of denying it, Miss Ida admits to using the spray. She frames it as a warning shot because she felt threatened by the noise, which she characterizes as drug activity and threats, though she offers no proof. After a lengthy conversation where the officer tries to explain the law, he finally places Miss Ida under arrest for simple battery. The interaction concludes with her resisting the arrest, claiming she's done nothing wrong and demanding her keys while the officers struggle to get her into the patrol car without injuring her. Before we dive into the scene-by-scene breakdown of the footage, we need to establish the legal framework the officers are operating under. This isn't just a debate over who was nice or who was mean. This is about the strict threshold for criminal liability. When the police first step onto Miss Ida's porch, this is legally classified as a consensual encounter. Legally speaking, she is under no obligation to speak with them. She could have simply told them to leave her property unless they produced a warrant or cited exigent circumstances. However, like so many people who are convinced they are in the right, she chooses to talk. She waives her right to silence because she desperately wants to control the narrative. This is the single most common mistake suspects make, believing that explaining why you committed an act somehow makes it not a crime. Ultimately, the officer charges her with simple battery. It is crucial to distinguish this from assault. In many jurisdictions, assault is the threat of harm, while battery is the actual physical contact or offensive touching. Legally, when a chemical agent like bear mace or pepper spray makes contact with a person's body, it counts as battery. Even if it's just a mist drifting into their lungs, that is an offensive touching caused by the suspect. The moment the victim stated, "I can feel it in my chest," the situation transitioned from a mere threat to a completed battery. We also have to address the myth of warning shots and defensive property, which sit at the heart of Miss Ida's defense. She claims she fired one big shot into the air just to let them know she was protected. But here is where the legal reality shifts. You cannot use force, lethal or non-lethal, to warn someone who is standing legally on their own property. Legitimate self-defense generally requires passing 3 strict tests. Imminence. The threat must be happening right now. Proportionality. The force used must match the level of the threat. Reasonableness. A reasonable person in that same situation must believe they are in actual danger. Miss Ida fails all 3. Noise and looking at me do not constitute an imminent physical threat. Therefore, deploying a chemical weapon isn't self-defense, it's aggression. Furthermore, the second Miss Ida says, "I used pepper spray at them." The officers have probable cause. They no longer need to weigh one neighbor's word against the other because the who has been established by her own confession. The moment the why fails to justify the what, the arrest is no longer optional. It's a legal necessity. The video opens with the mother, our victim in this scenario. It's crucial to watch her body language. She's frustrated, but she's coherent, providing specific falsifiable details. She doesn't just say, "She attacked me." She says, "She walked to that gate and sprayed bear mace. It was a brown mist, and the canister was black." Specificity builds credibility. While a liar might be vague, she describes the exact color of the mist. She also dismisses the verbal insults, like being called stupid, as unimportant, which effectively highlights the severity of the physical attack. This helps the officers filter out the noise. She isn't calling the cops for name-calling, she's calling them for chemical warfare. When the officers approach Miss Ida's porch, notice her immediate posture. She's relaxed, sitting down, clearly viewing the police as her allies. She begins with the character assassination of her neighbors, claiming they use drugs, live 10 to a house, and make horrible noises. The pivot point of the entire investigation happens when the officer asks one simple question: "And what did you do today?" Miss Ida answers simply, "I used pepper spray at them." Stop and look at that moment. In her mind, this is a logical sentence. They were loud, so she sprayed them. Justice served. But in the officer's mind, the legal tumblers just clicked into place. He asked for clarification. Did you spray it to hit them? She then makes a fatal legal error saying, I didn't spray to hit them. I just wanted to let them know I have some protection. With those words, she just admitted to reckless conduct at best and assault at worst. Even if she didn't aim for their eyes, deploying a chemical agent into the air toward people is a crime. She has stripped herself of any I didn't do it defense and is now relying entirely on a justification defense that is about to fail. We also have to address the racial component here. Miss Ida attempts to inoculate herself against accusations of racism by claiming she works with and likes real good black people. This is a classic pattern in bias-motivated incidents. The suspect attempts to categorize good ones, usually those who are subservient or employed by her, versus bad ones, like neighbors who assert their rights. It reveals a worldview where her acceptance of others is conditional on them behaving exactly how she wants. The officer wisely ignores this bait. He doesn't debate sociology with her. He keeps the focus strictly on the criminal action. The officer attempts to de-escalate by explaining the law, by trying to give Miss Ida a chance to understand where she crossed the line. He explains that neighbors making noise or acting rude is protected as free speech until it becomes a documented pattern of harassment. He's essentially giving her an out, but instead, Miss Ida doubles down. She looks him in the eye and says, I will use every means I have available to protect myself. This is a threat. With that sentence, she effectively forces the officer's hands. They can no longer leave the scene. If they walk away and she sprays those children again, or uses the taser she mentioned, the liability falls squarely on the police. She literally talked herself out of a warning and straight into handcuffs. When the officer finally says, At this time, I do need you to put your hands behind your back, Ida's reaction is one of genuine, unfiltered shock. No, you don't do that to me. That might be the most revealing line in the entire video. She fundamentally believes that arrest is something that happens to other people, to the criminals next door, but never to her. She sees herself as part of the hierarchy the police exist to protect, not the element they are meant to police. As the officer persists, she begins to resist. Ma'am, don't fight us. She refuses to walk and demands to go back inside for her keys, a request the officer rightly denies. Officer Safety 101. You never let a suspect go back into an uncleared room, especially one who just admitted to having multiple weapons. Yet notice how incredibly gentle the officers are. They plead with her. They offer to get her keys for her. Why, they treat her with a level of deference that is almost never seen in body cam footage involving violent felonies. We have to be honest about the optics here. If a 25-year-old male, regardless of his race, told an officer, "Yeah, I sprayed mace at those kids because they were loud," the physical detainment would likely have happened within seconds. The disparity in treatment reveals a lot about the silent biases that still exist in modern policing. In the eyes of the law, a younger suspect might be viewed as an active threat, but for Miss Ida, her age and gender act as a psychological shield. Despite just attacking a family with a chemical agent, the officers perceive her as confused rather than dangerous. Status buys you time. While most suspects get 30 seconds to comply, Miss Ida is granted a 20-minute roadside hearing to explain her feelings. She explicitly views the police as a service she employs to manage her environment, lamenting, "That's what you call us for, so that you don't have to do anything." She is genuinely frustrated that they aren't acting as her private security. This is a recurring theme in neighbor disputes. One party believes the police exist to enforce their personal preferences regarding noise or aesthetics rather than the law. She is also a victim of bad information. Having likely heard phrases like "stand your ground" or "castle doctrine" on the news, she assumes they mean "I can do whatever I want on my property." She fails to grasp that the castle doctrine applies to intruders entering your home, not neighbors standing legally in their own yard. This ignorance, combined with her possession of weapons like mace and a taser, creates a high liability disaster. We must also acknowledge the incredible discipline of the victim's family. They were just sprayed with mace. They had every emotional right to escalate, scream, or retaliate. Instead, they called the police, gathered video evidence, and stayed calm. In many body cam videos, a victim's emotional reaction is weaponized against them, with officers shouting, "Calm down, or you're going to jail too." Here, their calm demeanor made the police work easy. Based on the transcript, Miss Ida was arrested for simple battery. In many jurisdictions, this is a misdemeanor. However, given that the victims included children, this could potentially be elevated to child abuse or assault with a dangerous weapon, depending on the prosecutor's discretion. It likely remained simple battery only because the injuries were minimal. No immediate hospitalization was required. And the officers chose the path of least resistance to get her into custody. But even with the handcuffs on, notice the interaction at the car. She immediately starts bargaining. "Can I call my grandson? I need my keys." Even now, Miss Ida is still trying to negotiate the terms of her surrender. If this case follows the typical pattern for elderly defendants, she'll likely face a diversion program, anger management, or a fine. The likelihood of actual jail time is low. However, the arrest itself is the real consequence here. For someone whose worldview is built on the belief that you don't do that to me, the sheer humiliation of the booking process, the mugshots, and a permanent criminal record is a massive reality check. Systemically, the arrest was a legal necessity. Had the officers walked away and she sprayed that family again the next day, the department would be facing a massive lawsuit. Taking her into custody was the only way to stop the clock on an active threat. This video serves as a stark reminder: fear is not a license to assault. Miss Ida lived in a prison of her own making, convinced her neighbors were dealers, convinced the noise was a threat, and utterly convinced she was the victim. That unchecked fear drove her to arm herself and attack a family for the crime of blowing bubbles. It's also a warning about the legal limits of property rights. Your fence line is not a border where you are the dictator. The laws of society flow right through your gate. You cannot mace people for being annoying. You cannot mace people just because they make you feel suspicious. The officers in this video displayed immense patience, perhaps too much, depending on your perspective. But they ultimately arrived at the right legal conclusion. They stripped away the grandma defense and looked at the cold, hard facts. A weapon was deployed against unarmed children. If you found yourself in a dispute with a neighbor you felt was harassing you, how would you handle it? Would you have the incredible restraint these victims showed? Or would you, like Miss Ida, feel justified in taking matters into your own hands? This case forces us to confront our own biases about who looks dangerous and who looks innocent. It reminds us that sometimes the true threat isn't the person making the noise, it's the person demanding the silence. The world is always more complex than what we see on body cam. Subscribe to join the conversation as we explore the thin lines of the law in our upcoming videos.